Thomas Bryant really had his showcase game yesterday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? He immediately started off with a bang. He was our leading scorer with 18 points and just really looked different compared to the first two games. First two games, he looked a little lost out there, a little wobbly, kind of looked like a guy that, was coming off of an injury last season and just needed time to kind of get his legs under him. Like, that was kind of what I attributed it to. I didn't think it was a big deal. But nonetheless, he ended up getting, the start and was kind of solo last game as, they basically sat pretty much everybody for a back-to-back preseason game. I don't know why the NBA decided to schedule a back-to-back preseason game. I understand that they were in Vegas, so you want to maximize as much as possible, but couldn't have extended it another day to kind of like let these guys play, because I do think that the stars would have played if that would have happened, but back-to-back, it's not worth the risk. But Thomas Bryant, he got to play 26 minutes, gave you 18 points, 7 rebounds, gave you 1 assist, shot like 62% from the field at 5 for 8. He didn't knock down threes. He was 0 for 2 from 3. But hey, you take the good with the bad. He's got to still kind of find his stride, get back into stuff. Again, he is coming off of an injury from last season. Had a block, had a steal, looked very good out there. He really did. He was running on the floor. He was going, hustling, working hard. It's preseason, so guys aren't going 110% always, right? Because you don't want to get hurt. You're not trying to risk yourself. You're just going out there playing within the flow of the game. That's why in preseason you usually see a lot of just like, oh, he's got better position for the ball, let him just get the rebound, because you're not trying to hurt him and he's not trying to hurt you. It's kind of like a mutual thing, right? Everybody's still undefeated at this point until the actual season starts, right? That's when I think you'll see guys kind of hustle more, things like that. But Thomas Bryant really was a standout yesterday, and he's going to be a very key part, right? It's his second stint with the Lakers here, and he's a guy that we're hoping can be our sort of Brook Lopez in comparison to, the Milwaukee Bucks. Darvin Ham's running that kind of offense, and you need that stretch big. Obviously, you have Anthony Davis. Damian Jones, Darvin Ham believes Damian Jones can kind of provide that, but so far we haven't really seen that. I don't even think he's made a three yet on all his attempts. Not that he's shot a ton of them, but he shot like 4 or 5 off the top of my head, and I don't think he's made one. Thomas Bryant was 0 for 2 yesterday, but he did have one kind of rattle in and out, so I'm hoping that the stroke for him will kind of get back. The more game time he gets to play, the more run he gets. I would like to see him start with the starters and kind of see what we could get with him, kind of see how that would work. I do think it's very likely Thomas Bryant starts. I know Damian Jones and Kendrick Nunn were running with the starters, but I just think from what we saw with Thomas Bryant, I think Thomas Bryant would be better suited for that starting lineup. And then you have Damian Jones coming off the bench, kind of providing that high energy, that high spark, which we've seen. We've seen from Damian Jones, him on his help defense, just recovering, he's blocking shots, just that high motor guy. Thomas Bryant, I was really impressed with last night and really kind of got to see him come into his own. Because look, he could be a very key factor, very key component for this Lakers team. This is a guy that has and can put up, 20 games, like he's a guy that can put up some big numbers if need be. He's shown some real promise. He's still very young at 25 years old, 6'10", so he's got, true size for a center, things like that. And he's got a lot of intangibles, a lot of versatility. And we don't need him to go and put up 20 a game, right? But like if you get a game or two here and there where he does, that's perfect. In reality, what we need is we need him to be able to knock down, a 3 or 2 a game, spread the floor, open up the lanes, stuff like that, play some solid defense, get some rebounds, block some shots, be a hustle roll guy. That's what we ultimately need from Thomas Bryant. But he is a guy that can provide scoring. We even saw him knock down a couple mid-range shots, which I thought was really nice. He had a couple of those. He even had 1 or 2 that were, basically right at the line. It wasn't like a 3, but it was like right at the line, and knocked those in. So we got to see some of the versatility from him. Got to see a little bit of the play style. We got to see his hustle on the defensive end and stuff. And if that can translate into the regular season and he can continue to be that guy, I really think that he can make a real impact on this team. Because especially against like the main teams, not many teams have multiple big guys that they can play together, right? like the Timberwolves are trying it out with Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, but like most of the elite teams, right? Like the Nuggets, they have Joker and then they have Aaron Gordon, right? But we got Anthony Davis. Like, good luck having Aaron Gordon try to stop Anthony Davis. The Clippers, they don't have that size. I mean, they only have one center, period. I mean, they have the two rookies, but like, you're really going to rely on them to do something, play major minutes, stuff like that. So we have a size advantage. The Warriors, again, yeah, they have Wiseman, but outside of him, they don't have another like real true center. I mean, it's never been a problem for them, but our size is where our advantage is on a lot of these teams, a lot of these nights. And that was our big thing in 2020, our size. Having multiple guys that could do multiple things that were, big players. And I think that that's what this team has. I really like our center spot. We got versatility, and I think Thomas Bryant could be that one of those big factors for us. I think Kendrick Nunn is our X factor. Like, I think he's the guy that's gonna like really stand out. I think he's the guy that's like he's gonna single-handedly help us win some games that we might have won this season. But I think Thomas Bryant can be that guy too, that can maybe help us put a couple more W's in the win column than maybe otherwise. His high energy, high motor, versatility, being able to stretch the floor, rebound, block shots, get some steals. He's got a good motor. It's just, can he stay healthy? And can he kind of get back into the swing of things and kind of fit within the system? We're going to need him to knock down threes, probably more so than he's ever needed to before, right? Because we need that floor spacing. Now, we don't need him to be an elite shooter. He doesn't have to shoot 50% from three or something crazy like that. We just need him to be serviceable and respectable enough to where teams actually have to challenge it. And luckily, he's got a little bit of a reputation as a floor stretching big. So, teams, at least early on, are going to want to respect it just because of his past. But if he's not proving that he's knocking down shots, then teams eventually are going to sag off, and that could provide problems. Also, if his shot is falling, then he can also play the power forward too, which I think would be huge. Because then you could run him and Damian Jones, or him and Wenyen Gabriel, which we saw during the preseason. And that actually looked pretty good. Wenyen Gabriel was all over the place. You got that versatility. Having the ability to have a big guy like Thomas Bryant that can just knock it down respectfully. It doesn't have to be lights out. Just knock it down respectful enough to where teams have to be honest. And I think that that's where a real mismatch lies. Because we have so many guys that can get to the basket. Even Walker yesterday, you saw his ability to just get to the basket and use his length with a 6'10 wingspan and just get over guys. And beyond that, you have Russ. Kendrick Nunn is great at getting to the basket, create his own shot. You got Schroeder. You have LeBron. So we need that big that can spread the floor. Anthony Davis looked great in the game we saw him play. He was knocking down threes, knocking down outside shots. If you have him and you have Thomas Bryant both at a respectable clip, then that's huge because now that opens the floor. LeBron has a much improved three-point shot, right? And then your only real shooting liability would be Russell Westbrook, and can he be respectable? And the game that we saw him actually take threes, he was 50% from. Now, I don't expect that to happen regularly, but can he get to like 32, 33%? Because league average is only 34, 35%. So can he just get slightly below league average to where if he can, now teams have to be honest. Teams have to respect that, and that just opens the floor so much more. So I really think Thomas Bryant is a real tool that we could use in so many ways because of his versatility. And I think that he really has the potential to be a real factor for this Lakers team. And what we saw yesterday, I really liked from him. If he can translate that to an 82-game season and play like that night in and night out, again, we don't need 18 a game. I mean, of course, if he can, great. But it's not what we need on this team. Can he give us half that? Can he give us 8 to 10 a game? Like if he could do that, get us, 8 rebounds, a couple blocks, couple steals, knock down a couple threes, stuff like that. Perfect. That is everything we could ask for and then some. And I really think that Thomas Bryant is going to shine. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Thomas Bryant. What did you think of Thomas Bryant last night? Did you like what you saw from him? Do you think that, yes, finally he had his kind of breakout game? Because that was the real concern. First 2 games he looked didn't really look too good out there. I mean, he had a couple moments, but for the most part, it was just kind of like, is he okay? Like, what's going on? And again, I just kind of attributed that to like, oh, he's coming off of a major injury. He's got to kind of get his game legs underneath him. It'll come. And it looked like yesterday he had his game legs underneath him. He was really good. He was the bright spot for us and the leading scorer in last night's game. And just, the time that he played. So I was really impressed with him. Do you feel the same way? Do you think he could really be a key contributing factor on this team? Do you think that he should start? Do you think he should come off the bench? Maybe they fill Damian Jones in that spot. Look, I know Anthony Davis is the best 5 that we have, but over an 82-game season, you need him to play the 4. Now, I'm sure he'll play the 5 in spots. Like even in preseason, we saw him play the 5 in spots. I do think he plays the 5 in spots, and I do think like big important games, or especially come playoff time, I see him playing the 5 more significantly, especially like a closeout game. Like say we're up 3-2 against a team, like I think Anthony Davis starts that game at the 5, try to close out, or if we're in like a game 7 or something like that, I think Anthony Davis starts at the 5. I think they'll use him at the 5 in key situations, key matchups, things like that. Just important moments. Maybe to close out games, 3 minutes left. Davis, you got to play the 5 for the last 3 minutes, something like that. Let's go get this W. Like I could see that being the case. But these guys, Thomas Bryant and Damian Jones, they're going to get minutes. They're going to get some run. They're going to get some burn. But anyway, again, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between. Let me know. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.